All right, folks, I don't know if there's something in the water over at Capitol Hill, specifically in the Republican chambers, or if it's just the culture of violence which has pervaded the Republican Party, but something's going on because we have 2 incidents just today of Republican violence, one of which we actually have on screen. But before we unpack all that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. All right, folks, again, I don't know what's going on, but the chaos and dysfunction and stupidity of the Republican Party, which has been mostly local in the House of Representatives, is also making its way over to the Senate, specifically with respect to violence. We have 2 incidents, one involving Mark Wayne Mullen, a Republican senator from Oklahoma, and another involving former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. So it's 2 different chambers, and only one of them do we have on film. We'll go to that one first. This is from a Senate hearing, a HELP hearing. I think it's Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, chaired by Bernie Sanders, okay? And the guy on screen is Mark Wayne Mullen, and he is a Republican senator from Oklahoma, and he is sparring verbally and about to get physical with the president of the Teamsters Union, a guy who he's feuded with back and forth over the past few months. Watch this exchange, and we will unpack it together.
Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, wouldn't be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big
No,
guy.
no, stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution every problem?
No, sit down.
Why, you're a clown.
Sit down.
Look at you.
You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right.
Can I respond, Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it. Hold it. If
Hold
we
on.
can't, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't. This is a hearing. And God knows the American people have enough of contempt for Congress. Let's not
I don't
make
like
it worse.
thugs and bullies.
You have,
And that's
you
what-
have
I don't
the
like
mic.
you, because you
Hold
just
it.
described yourself.
Hold it. You have the mic.
Yeah.
You have time.
All right.
Make your statement.
I don't even know what to say to this. I really don't. I didn't imagine we'd ever get to a position where Bernie Sanders at 81 or 82 years old would nearly have to break up a fist fight between Mark Wayne Mullen, a Republican who used to apparently practice mixed martial arts, and Sean O'Brien of the Teamsters Union. He's the president. Now, the history of this is actually, like I said, it goes back several months. So they've been going back and forth in hearings and in, on Twitter, on social media. So this was back in June. Sean O'Brien says, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made, in reality just a clown and fraud, always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Now, to his credit, I mean, Sean O'Brien looks like a big guy, too. I don't know if he practiced martial arts, but he seemed ready to throw down there, too. And this was actually, this specific tweet was what Mark Wayne Mullen was responding to. That's why he said, this is a time and this is a place. Absolutely deranged. But again, it goes back several months. Mediaite has an article on it. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen derailed the hearing of the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions when he read a past tweet, which we just looked over. Mullen and O'Brien have traded barbs for months, and over the summer, the Republican senator challenged O'Brien to a fight for charity. An attention-seeking union Teamster boss is trying to be punchy after our Senate hearing. Okay, I accept your challenge. MMA fight for charity of our choice. September 30th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Give you 3 days to accept. Listen, I'm not a particularly violent person. I don't like UFC and MMA or anything like that. That's just me as like a personal preference. And I know a lot of people do. Boxing and MMA and UFC, these are things that are, celebrated by many Americans. No problem with that. This really doesn't have a place in the halls of Congress. It just really doesn't. And Bernie Sanders was right to, intervene and say, listen, we have to act with a degree of decorum and dignity. Now, if they want to, again, arrange some sort of ethical, fight by combat off Capitol Hill, so be it. That might even be entertaining. But again, there should be some sort of disconnect between this personal beef and what's going on in Congress. Now, before I play what's going on with Kevin McCarthy, I also want to draw your attention to, again, a previous exchange between Mark Wayne Mullen and Sean O'Brien from the Teamsters. I think this is back in March.
Somebody else that you want to say that you're trying to provide because you're forcing them to pay dues? And
No,
then-
we don't force
Hold
anybody
on.
Senator, you've
to pay
asked the
dues. You're
question.
out of line,
Let him
man.
answer
Actually,
the
I haven't,
question.
and don't tell me I'm out
You
of
are
line.
in line.
Don't tell me I'm out of line.
Well, you frame.
Don't tell me.
You
I'm
frame.
making a
You
statement.
frame. You frame the statement
You need
like
to
a
shut
tough
your
guy.
mouth
Yeah.
because you don't know
You're
what
gonna
you're
tell me to
talking
shut my
about.
mouth?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Yes, I
Tough
did.
guy. I'm not
Senator,
afraid of physical.
You
Senator,
don't have
hold
to be,
it.
but don't sit there and tell me I'm out of line.
Bernie Sanders is probably like, I should just retire after this. This is insane. But again, it's not just relegated to one chamber of Congress. This CNN was talking about this earlier. We don't have footage of this, at least not yet, but this was apparently some sort of brief physical exchange between, I shouldn't say exchange because it implies it's reciprocal, but one member of Congress got physical with another member of Congress, and there's some beef here too. And let's play the clip of what CNN reported.
Yeah, there's been apparently a tense interaction in the Capitol hallways with Congressman Tim Burchett, who is one of the 8 Republicans who voted out Kevin McCarthy from the speakership, and apparently had a bit of a dust-up in the hallways himself with Kevin McCarthy. And I have Congressman Burchett with us here right now. So, Congressman, explain to us what happened with you and Kevin McCarthy.
Well, I was doing an interview with Claudia from NPR, a lovely lady, and she was asking me a question, and at that time I got elbowed in the back, and it kind of caught me off guard because it was a clean shot to the kidneys, and I turned back, and there was Kevin, and I for a minute I was kind of, what the heck just happened? And then I chased after him. Of course, he's as I've stated many times, he's a bully with $17 million in a security detail. He's the type of guy that, when you're a kid, would throw a rock over the fence and run home and hide behind his mama's skirt. And he just, he from behind, that kind of stuff. That's not the way we handle things in East Tennessee. If we have a problem with somebody, I'm going to look them in the eye and talk to them.
Okay. So
Same day, folks. I really have no idea what's going on. I mean, it seems just knowing how cowardly Kevin McCarthy is, it seems unlikely. It's hard to believe that he would do something like that, but he's also surrounded by security detail, and he's pissed, and we know he's angry. This was actually from, I think it's been a week at least. It's been within the past 7 days. This was something that, McCarthy said when asked about the likes of Nancy Mace and Tim Burchett, people who voted to oust him as Speaker of the House.
I think the two that were really different than all the others were Tim Burchett and Nancy Mace. That's just, the others hadn't voted for me before anyways. They were disruptors the whole time.
what about them surprised you, Burchett and Mace?
It just didn't, it seemed out of nature, but they seem to have changed during the time. They care a lot about press, not about policy, and so they seem to just want the press and the personality.
That seems to be the Republican Party in a nutshell. Tim Burchett, Nancy Mace, Markwayne Mullen, Kevin McCarthy, arguably himself. He's not exactly a policy wonk by any stretch of the imagination. He wanted the gavel. He wanted the title. It's so weird. Two chambers of Congress, two violent or near violent encounters on the same day, and all Republican. Like, this is the attitude which has pervaded the Republican Party. Donald Trump is probably not the source of it, but he has certainly exacerbated it, and it doesn't seem to be getting better. If anything, it seems to be getting worse. We know, for example, that far-right political violence vastly exceeds in terms of destruction, in terms of, body count, in terms of the severity, anything from the left. This is a violent culture within the Republican Party, a uniquely violent culture, and there's no telling what may happen a month from now. We may end up seeing something where, one Republican senator gets body slammed by, a Republican witness. There's no telling where this may go. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you're surprised or if you think that this is inevitable.